John chapter 5 verse 17 says, Jesus responded to them, "My Father is still working, and I am working also." Jesus has healed a guy on the Sabbath. The religious people, the Pharisees, they freaked out because they have certain rules, and this guy isn't obeying the rules. The guy was carrying his mat, sure, he picked it up, he worked, but Jesus did a healing, and that breaks our rules. So they're just freaking out. And then this is Jesus' response. He says, look, my Father is still working, and before I even go on, Jesus just made a very serious claim here. He's saying, like, this is my dad. Now, some of the Pharisees, some of the religious people would occasionally call God their heavenly Father, their Father in heaven, but this is Jesus. It's just different. It's a claim to a very special relationship that he has, which also says, I'm the Son of God. When Jesus says, that's my dad, that makes him the Son, and there's a sense of deity here. This is a really big deal. And then the Jewish people held that God was still upholding the universe, and he was still, doing all the things that he was orchestrating on the Sabbath, even though Genesis 2 says that he rests. Jesus has a conversation at one point with some people about, would you pick up your hurt animal? Would you pick your hurt animal out of a pit if it was in danger? And then I think it's John 7 maybe, where there's a circumcision on the Sabbath. Like, we see that these things are happening on the Sabbath. There are still things that can be done, and the Jewish people say, okay, God still has these laws and these rules, and you do good, and God's upholding the universe, so there's good work to do on the Sabbath. But it also shows that God is not subject to the laws of the Sabbath. He's the one who gave the laws. He's over the Sabbath. And now Jesus is saying, look, my dad is working because he's over the Sabbath, and I'm working too. Okay, he's not saying like my Father has special privileges on the Sabbath, and he said, I do too. And so the Jewish people want to kill him because he's claiming to be God here. People say, oh, he doesn't claim to be God. Yes, he does. Because in the latter part of this paragraph, it says he's making himself equal with God. Equal is the same. Jesus is making himself equal with the Father. The Father is God. Therefore, Jesus is God.